Hello everyone, and welcome to Session 3 of Star Trek Adrastea. My name is ELH, the player. That's right, I'm not the game. Peter, you do the Game Master things.
Hey everyone, I am Peter or Petrus Aquinas, and I am the game master for Star Trek Adrastea. Um, so, as ELH said, this is session 3, um, coming at you after a little bit of a soft reboot if you missed the last episode. Um, but how about we switch up into character and player introductions then? So, ELH, you're up first.
Yeah. So I will be playing Captain Ash, the cornet captain of the Adrastea.
Jeremy, I think that's you next.
It is me. I'm Jeremy or U.S.S, and I'm playing our ship's chief engineer, Commander Akora.
And last but certainly not least,
I'm Jeff, also known as Sunbay, and I play your lovable Vulcan Chief Medical Officer, Commander Doctor, or Doctor Commander Bellic.
yes, both of those very
They're
important.
interchangeable.
Yeah. All right. Let's hit those opening titles.
And we are back. So I think I have the opening log, right, Peter?
You do. As is tradition, someone gets it, and you got it.
All right, let's see if I can do this well. Stardate 59965.6. We've been given a new mission to investigate the planet Montua? Montana? Computer, how do you say this name?
Pronunciation of planet is Mantua.
Mantua. Thank you, computer. Investigate the planet of Mantua. Apparently, it's very similar to our last mission in time, where there's a supposedly pre-warps culture that is exhibiting signs of, well, alien interference, as it were. We know this because the Mantua were a pre-warp culture with various kingdoms and city-states kind of in a medieval state, at least as far as Earth would be concerned, but we're detecting energy that is not consistent with that level of development. We're going to probably have to send down some away teams, and really I'm curious how we're going to be handling the distortion field surrounding the planet, because we can't scan, we can't transport because we don't have scanners, which means we're likely going to have to take down shuttles. So that's going to be fun. And once again, the Prime Directive applies, so we cannot make references to space, other planets, advanced civilizations, can't have cultural contamination, etc., etc., etc. You know, part of me wonders if Starfleet read my mission report from the last quote-unquote temporal mission and decided, hey, you know what we can do for Captain Ash? Let's just send her on another one. Why not? Computer, erase those last 3 sentences and log.
The computer beeps in affirmation.
Lovely.
I will give you a momentum for that.
Thank you.
Right. I would imagine you're all on the bridge as the ship drops out of warp above this planet. And so as you approach, it's, generally Earth-sized, same sorts of colors. It's a Class M planet, as you would expect. And you can see the Terminator, and there doesn't appear to be really any lights on the other side much. So there's clearly not heavy technology or anything. It's just, if you were just flying past it, you wouldn't necessarily notice that there were sentient beings on it. So yeah, you're approaching the planet for a, as they say in the early TNG, a parking orbit.
All right. So, Commander Akorum, anything on sensors? Well, why am I asking that? There's a distortion field around the planet. What?
As we expected, sir, nothing on sensors.
That's what I thought. Well, Commander Dr. Velik, what do we know about the species down there? Are they human-like? Am I going to have to go under makeup? Like, what are we talking about here?
That is one thing that had me puzzled from the mission, where we can't share knowledge of space or anything else, and we do have quite a diverse crew.
Well,
And what do we know about the species?
So the species on the planet, there's actually a little bit of a difference between the northern and southern hemispheres. So the northern hemisphere appears to be mostly like your normal humanoids, but in the southern hemisphere, they actually are they tend to be more of the spectrum of Orion colors, so greenish. But this is from, like, space probe visual telemetry, that, like, looking down, because there's not really scans that can really be done. So this is all basically cameras from orbit.
So from what we've been able to tell, is they're roughly humanoid. The southern hemisphere tends to be more colorful, something akin to the spectrum that the Orions display.
so maybe all I really need to do is get you to color me green.
Promises?
While this is going on, can we tell the source of the distortion field? Like in a lot of spherical fields, for example, sometimes you can see a divot at the source or near the source.
I would like you to give me a. I should have this in front of me, but I don't. I want you to give me an insight and science check, or an insight and engineering check, difficulty of 2.
Computer helping it, or ship helping at all?
The ship can assist, yes.
All right.
All right.
Sensor science, computer science.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay. Well, in that
Either
case,
one.
we get advanced sensor suites, so it goes down
That
to
is true.
difficulty 1.
Woo! Oh, would you look at that?
Very nice. We're up to 3 momentum.
Cool. So yeah, you are able to determine where, like, the slight divot of the projection field is, and it appears to be midway in the northern hemisphere of the planet, a little bit around the orbit from you.
I wonder if we could get a visual of that with a probe.
Well, we've got a lot of them. Fire one out. Let's see what we can see.
Sending it down, or just in orbit?
Just in orbit.
In orbit, I don't want to breach anything.
Okay.
Unless the captain says breach it, in which case, let's go.
No, we're going to play this one safe. Just in orbit's fine.
Okay. So you fire the probe out. It goes ahead of you in the orbit, and basically geosyncs above that spot.
Mm-hmm.
And what would you like to know?
Well, I mean, I know the data we can get is fairly limited, but as we just discussed, we've gotten some visual imagery from the planet below. I'd like to see I'd like to get some visual data on what could be generating this distortion.
Okay. I mean, it's not like pinpointed necessarily, but it's like
Sure.
it's an area. So where the probe looks down is a large area with woods and open fields. So there seems to be like an agrarian society going on here. But there's also a town and a castle. And there appears to maybe be another one. So there's two different complexes. There's a town and a keep castle, and then there's another castle a little farther away.
Does that other castle have a town with it, or is it just
It does not.
Okay. I'll
It's not
relay
like-
this to the rest of the party.
So, Commander Corm, you're not seeing a mountain or big energy ring glowing with power, just two castles and a town.
That's about it, sir. I mean, obviously, we're seeing many things, but I figured if it were me, I'd probably put it in a castle, and probably that castle that's way out there because it has no other real reason to be there.
Well, I mean, this is a...
But
Well, let me
go
ask
ahead,
this. Do we have a coordinates for that energy signature, or is it just in general? And this is to Peter. Is this in general we know there's an energy signature, or the energy signature is somewhere specific on the planet?
It seems to be coming from that general vicinity.
Okay, that's what I thought. I just wanted to be sure.
Yeah.
In that case, Commander Corm, do you see any potential landing zones? Because as far as I'm aware, we're not going to be able to beam down into that.
so do you want to go in the area of the distortion field?
That's where we detected the energy signature, so yes.
Yes.
You would have to go through the distortion field however
Yes.
you want, because it's surrounding the entire planet.
Do I think that this distortion field would have a deleterious effect on ship and shuttle systems?
Give me an insight engineering difficulty of 1.
All right. I figure
Wait,
starship
Corm, are you
systems-
technically the science officer?
I am not.
No, that's right.
I'm
You're playing
chief
the engineer. That's right.
He's
Sorry,
the
it's been a
engineer.
while.
We don't technically have a statted out science officer. We could.
I
We don't have
can
one currently.
run science if you need it.
Well,
I
the
mean,
reason
inside
ask
engineering is still a 15 for me.
Well, the reason I
It's
ask is because the science officer gets the free question. So
Ew.
Yeah.
That's right.
we could spend one momentum and ask. I don't know.
Sure,
Good
we'll
call.
just. I mean, it's a 15. I think I can probably make it.
All right, double complications. Here we go, everybody.
Let's do this.
All right,
Oh, well, there you go.
up to 4 momentum.
As far as you know, there will be no detrimental effects to the shuttlecraft.
Okay. I think I've got us a landing location, sir. A little bit away from significantly away from that town, within reach of both areas, though. So we'll just be a little bit of a hike.
All right, as long as we can find a spot and get down and camouflage the shuttle in some way, I think we're in good hands. I don't know, Commander Dr. Vela, can you get a Quorum and I situated for an away team? And then, where is that ensign we brought on the last one? Where is he? What is his name? And I'm saying this because Ash and ELH has forgotten his name. I think it was a J.
The ensign. I don't remember the ensign.
The security person.
Lieutenant.
Yeah, the
There's the
security
lieutenant.
guy.
Cletus.
Cletus, that's his name.
Yeah.
Lieutenant Cletus, you're joining us as well, as I randomly point to him, who's been standing on the bridge this entire time.
What?
Well, yeah, we need a security officer, and congrats, you're our lucky winner.
Okay. All right. Leaves his post to go with you.
And Cletus is a human
Sorry.
This is a sorry.
for that will require extra work. Hey, Cletus, how do you feel about DNA modification?
His eyes get a little wide.
You know that look looks completely different on humans and human analogs.
if it's possible, his eyes get wider. Oh, nice.
Listen, I'm a VTuber. I can do instant costume changes. This is great.
That is true.
You do look a little sick.
I,
A little nurglish.
Well,
wait a second. They're in a medieval society. So what we do is we just put Cletus in a contemporary suit of armor, make him never take off his helmet. Problem solved.
That is better than the jester's hat I had in mind.
We don't even know if they have jesters.
It is true.
I mean, one would assume, but you know what they say about assuming.
Do they have suits of armor?
Also, fair point. Do they? Can we zoom in the probe just on the village to see if there's like people in armor?
yeah,
Enhance.
you can enhance the image, and there do appear to be guards in suits of armor on the walls of the castle
There we go.
at the town. So, and
Can you do a flyby by the second castle
with the shuttle,
with the probe?
I mean, you
Look-
can just zoom to it. Yeah.
And is there a difference in the clothing, color, style of the second castle?
No.
Okay. So possibly the two castles are aligned and allied in some form, since fashions and everything seem to be the same.
Wonder why they're so close to one another. Well, I suppose close is relative in this case, but still seems odd to have that many castles that close together.
And how far away from the equator is this?
From the equator, it's up a bit. So let's say if you're looking at Earth, it's somewhere around like the Carolinas.
Okay.
If you're looking at the U.S. anyway.
And do we see many of the Orion tinged people?
Not many, no. Not
Okay.
in this town. If you,
But there
if you
are
spread
some.
out a little bit, there's a few that are like traveling merchant sort of deal, from
Okay.
what you can tell.
But the green is not the
Oh God.
the common.
It's not the common one, no. So you would be outlanders, but not like, unknown.
All right, Peter, what color am I making myself?
Green's good.
Green? Okay.
You will not be cast out for being green.
Okay, that was my concern.
No.
It's not easy being green.
The door
But
I
it
have
might be here.
is, Captain, your horns and extra limbs.
I'm sure it's fine.
Okay.
So, Doctor, I assume you're taking everyone to sickbay to fix them up to get ready.
We'll start doing the DNA modifications there.
Okay.
Food coloring.
As you're standing there, a crewman from engineering comes in with his arm tied with a rope around his neck as he's
Tell
guiding
me where
them
the chief
by-
hit you.
As you see Adao come around the corner guiding him into sickbay. What? Why do you think I hit him?
Well, am I wrong?
In this case, yes.
I don't believe it.
Okay, this I gotta hear.
Well,
Was it a kick instead?
I did not touch him. I don't know where you get these scandalous ideas.
Crewman first, then the greening.
Well, crewmen get the tricorder out, start scanning. They broke an arm.
Yep. Yes, doctor.
Okay, let's go ahead. Nurse, the bone stimulators.
Nurse hands you your
Pulls it over.
required tools.
Ah, this is the cephalopod stimulator. Let's go ahead and try this on the arm. It could possibly turn it into a tentacle. And think of all the benefits you could get in engineering, reaching around corners. And
I mean, then I can't fall off a ladder and break it again, I guess, but
nobody'd be able to hold on to the ladder better.
I guess.
Okay.
Are we
It was
Why
an
are we
attempt.
transforming crew?
It was an attempt at bedside manner. I was told
Is this crewman just
humor.
terrified?
This is a regular bone stimulator.
See him visibly calm down.
I think. I was told I needed to improve my bedside manner, and humor came up as the easiest way.
We're gonna have to get you.
Next time, let's
comedy
workshop
lessons.
that. Yeah, let's workshop that on me.
I appear to.
Adao
To do
is
some work.
snickering by the door.
No, right. No more holding on to ladders with this arm. Use your other arm.
Yes, doctor.
Now that was funny.
I'll make a note of that.
All right, crewman. If the doc says you're good to go, you're good to go. Let's head back to engineering. We gotta see what's up with this energy field.
Is it affecting us?
No. But if you want to get beamed out in case something stupid happens.
Why would I beam down?
Well, I didn't say you were beaming down. Beaming back.
Oh, if you want us to get beamed out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that could be useful.
I've seen far too many away teams do something amazingly just ridiculous, and then we need to get beamed out right away, and then oh no, why hasn't the engineering team done their job? And then I have to sit and listen to some officer get mad at me for like 2 hours. So I'd rather just, start working the problem now.
Captain Ash makes a mental note to begin preparing to yell at her later, just because.
Akorum also makes a mental note to yell at her just because.
That's fair.
Tag team.
Do you want to be good cop or bad cop?
I don't know. No, I don't know. She wouldn't believe good cop.
As we go
She'd
through
know
the,
it was a trick.
As we go through the greening process, something has struck me. Computer, dim lights.
The lights dim.
Do they glow?
Are we?
I'm going to spend a threat, and yes.
Well, you did just get it. You had a Senor Imperator did redeem that complication earlier.
Well, I've banked that for something else.
Ah.
But
Huh. That is unexpected. As long as we're in the daylight and don't go into any caves, we should be all right.
Don't mind me, I'm just ascending over here.
I don't
Computer,
know if I can do that one.
return light.
light
Illumination
returns to
standard.
normal.
So that's going to be a problem if ever we're in the dark.
Okay. Could be beneficial. Do you need to roll anything for the disguises, or
No, you can replicate appropriate clothing
Okay.
and such. That's not a big deal.
I will wear a beanie.
I guess the Vulcan classic way of disguising.
Don't
It's
mind
worked
me.
so well in the past.
Cool.
I'm just relying on the gene therapy. Unless we can disguise my nose ridges as scars.
Could always tape. No, I guess they wouldn't.
You
have
could
tape.
always just do a Kira Nerys and just put some like gunk on it.
Yeah, I'll
Well,
do that. I'll put on some makeup and then also wear a beanie to cover up the muted forehead.
I did find something in the archives called gap filler. They also called it spackle.
I think I've got something that I can use.
Okay.
I'd rather not put building materials on my face.
Oh, I did not read that far. Oh, yeah, I see what you mean.
Slightly unpleasant.
And it does have an extended drying time.
Cool. Well, you all make your way out of sickbay, and you are accompanied by the clanking sound of Cletus in armor. It's not full plate, but there's enough that he's clanking.
He doesn't have a tail, does he?
No.
Okay.
But I do.
That is true. We'll hide it with a long cape.
Yes, because you simply must be our we are your retainers, and you are obviously a noble or something, right?
A very eccentric noble.
Why else would you have a man-at-arms in armor?
Well, I would think for. Oh, I see what you're doing. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Well, you all pile into one of the shuttlecraft and take off.
I will fly a shuttlecraft.
Okay. Give me a control and con check for me.
Okay.
Difficulty of 2.
I recommend not double complicating this one.
We have 4 momentum. I'll go ahead and spend 1 just in case, but this is not a bad check for me.
All right. You succeed. So you are able to go through the shield without any difficulty. Well, the distortion field, and you're making your way down to the to the castle, right? And you're going along, and this is where I'm taking my complication. Your shuttle, you're making like a straight line, and then you just kind of like hit something and veer off, and start to lose power as you go towards the town.
Commander.
We're losing power, sir. Let me see what I can do.
Quickly, before they see us, yes.
Yep, I'm going to get us. I'm going to get us away from the town.
Okay.
Hopefully to a forest.
Yep. There is a forest in between you and the town. So yeah, I won't make you roll for that. I just said you roll the 1.
You might as well. I'll make a daring con to see
all
how
right,
this goes.
let's do it. Do a daring con, difficulty of, let's make it 2 again, because you're going down. And
Special
I'm spending a momentum again.
And you
Oh, it
got
didn't even
again.
didn't even take the momentum I spent.
Oh.
But I also won't fish it, so I'll just put that back.
Yeah, just put it back then. Okay, so you are able to regain control of the shuttlecraft and set it down in a small clearing inside of the woods. This stretch of forest is in between the two, in between the castle and the one with the town, but it is closer to the one with the town at this point. So yeah, but you were able to land the shuttle safely and normally, so that you didn't cause a loud noise or crashing of anything to draw attention. So
okay, what's busted?
one of the one of the port power couplings at the nacelle fractured and then sent some of the thruster housing off, which then threw you off course.
So was there an actual impact?
There appears to be, yeah.
Okay.
And a piece of the shuttle fell to the ground?
Nothing fell off, no.
Okay.
It's like dented. Big dent.
And fragments went into other systems and damaged them.
Yep.
Okay, this is going to take some time, but maybe we can do that when we get back. Is everyone okay?
Cletus?
I'm scanning around.
Do we have a dead red shirt?
Cletus kind of pulls himself out of his chair. I'm okay. I think. According
He's
to your
okay.
tricorder, he seems to be just fine. Maybe just a touch nauseous.
Oh, you just got another complication from chat. They're really helping you out tonight, Peter.
Boy.
They hate us.
I hand Cletus from the back of the seat, a little paper bag.
He
Waterproof.
lifts his visor and starts breathing.
It can also be used for other things, should you feel the need.
Oh,
Okay, short range sensors.
okay. Short range sensors are functioning. Not terribly well, but just enough. So if you want to give me a insight and science or insight and engineering,
Difficulty?
1.
I'm a 14 at that.
I'm a 15 at it. Because engineering.
Trying to think, we would have flown a Type 8 down here, so the shuttle would be rolling against 6, I think.
I think so.
The shuttle doesn't help.
Darn.
Not that we need it.
You don't need it. Okay. What you looking for?
First off, is there anybody around
Not for a
in
little
the trees
ways,
or
Yeah,
so we
there's
can
no
exit
hunters
safely?
or anything like that. There aren't any people around. There were some animals that you scattered, but no people.
And then also no random tech. Is there any technology?
There doesn't appear to be, no.
I mean, technology is like advanced.
Yeah.
Technology.
Like things that are powered and use ODN circuits and that sort of thing, no.
Okay, sir. It doesn't look like there's anybody close or any advanced technology close.
Wonderful. Commander Dr. Velik, it seems like you have something to say.
How high up were we when we bumped whatever that was?
You were a ways above the tree line.
But
And
still
just-
technically invisible
Yeah.
range if someone was looking.
Yeah, but I am a better than competent pilot. So I hit something that was not
No.
visible, right? I would like to mark that location based on our trajectory.
Okay.
That's-
You mark that place, which is about a couple miles northwest of you.
In the woods, in the open,
Through the woods.
over
Yeah.
the river,
I'm sure there's a river.
Mhm.
and
Might
through the
even be a
woods.
house, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. The possibility of it extending all the way down to the ground.
Well, we're not going to find out sitting around here. Let's get going.
All right, which direction are you guys headed?
I think we want to go check out the thing we hit first, unless anybody has a recommendation otherwise.
I
Did we
concur.
arm Cletus, by the way?
Yeah, we gave him a claymore.
Front toward enemy?
Pretty much. No, the sword
Yes.
claymore.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember the specs for that? Or actually, well, it won't be relevant until it's relevant. So
If I remember correctly, swords are either two. They're three. They're three challenge dice plus security.
Yeah, that sounds right.
all right. I take it he no longer has his Lurpa.
He does not know.
That's
That
right.
was an alternate timeline at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, yes.
So does he have his temporal lurpa?
No.
The Lurpa of time.
Mm-hmm.
Time. It allows you to manipulate temporal fields.
Did you take any weapons there, combat captain?
No, I forgot my bad dagger at home. Shit. I'm sure it's fine. I got the horns. I got the spikes. I got the. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Oh, just all you need to find is one enemy. Then you have a weapon. Theirs.
Mm-hmm. I'm not too worried about it. Besides, I think worst comes to worst, if they don't believe I'm an eccentric noble who has many combat trophies, they're just going to think I'm the devil or something, which is nominally better than them thinking I'm an alien.
True.
Accurate. All right, so you begin to make your way through the forest.
Over the
with
river.
Through the river, through the woods, over the river, all of that.
To Invisible House we go.
Mm-hmm.
The flora, is there anything unique about it, or is it just kind of standard?
There doesn't appear to be anything too out of the ordinary about it,
Okay.
other than it being, species that you haven't recorded yet because no one's been to this planet before.
I make record, take any samples of any herbs and everything and put them inside my medicinal pouch,
Okay.
being a doctor.
All right. So you're making your way through everything. And at a certain point, your tricorder does give a little bit of a beep of life signs other than just your average animals approaching. And you hear horses, or this planet's equivalent, coming up as you've entered as you're going through the woods. You've kind of opened up into kind of basically a forest path. And as you kind of look in that direction, you see what appears to be a royal entourage coming through. So people in armor, fancy clothes, banners, the whole shebang, just kind of coming down towards you.
Gentlemen, it occurs to me that we've never heard their language. The universal translator had better work.
Ears open.
I stand aside. I stand aside and make way. Well, I follow I follow my noble's lead. But
Well, I don't stand in the way. I definitely get off the path so they can proceed past us. If they stop, we can have a conversation, but I'm not going to be in their way.
Gotcha.
Is there anybody else on the road besides us and the royal entourage?
Nope. Appears to be a pretty empty road.
So we don't have anybody we can copy their actions from.
Mannerisms?
Yeah.
No, not particularly. So this group they get to a certain point, and then they pretty clearly spot you. I mean, you're green people standing out. And so you see like someone raise up their hand, and you hear like, whoa, sort of deal, and then everyone kind of stops. And one of the guards kind of turns and like lifts up a visor, and you see, normal looking humanish features. Hail, traveler. From whence do you come? You seem to be from far away.
Indeed, we are from Farlandia.
Ah, I have not heard of Farlandia.
Oh, it's quite far from here.
Quite, as I have not seen many of your kind here recently.
Indeed. Who might we have the honor of addressing?
I am Sir Reginald.
Ah, Sir Reginald. It is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Lady Ash.
Lady Ash. What brings you to our fair country?
Oh, we are
If I may be
sightseeing.
so bold. Sightseeing. Well, there are many things to see in our land. I'm sure that my king would enjoy meeting you greatly.
We would be honored.
Well, let me see if I can. You do not appear to have any mounts. Were you mugged?
No, we simply are taking it the slow path, as it were.
Ah, enjoying yourselves?
Yes, as they say, the journey is half of the fun.
I haven't quite heard that before, but
Oh, it's a
seems
saying
like
in Farlandia. Don't worry about it.
I was about to say it might be wisdom from the south. You'll have to regale our king with some of that. And he kind of snaps his fingers, and some 4 horses are brought up to you.
Now, are they horses, or are they like 6-legged horses? Like, can we go through the whole taxidermy of the horse? Can we get a genealogy tree?
The Ashes Ash.
These horses are more akin to Terran horses, but they do have 4 ears.
4 years. Okay.
So some servants gather around and help lift you up to the horses. So, Lady Ash, I will guide you to our fair city, and you shall have an audience with our king.
Lovely. Oh, where are my manners? I have not introduced my entourage. This here is Sir Acorum, and this here is Sir Velik. They are both from Farlandia as well. And the honored knight you see that is wielding the sword from Farlandia, that is Sir Cletus.
Sword from Farlandia. We have not seen its make in many a year.
Hmm.
You may have to show us how it is used.
Well, nominally you swing it at your enemies, but I'm sure Cletus would be happy to show you.
Ha, your jests are quite amusing, lady.
I try.
And you succeed. On. And so you start heading with the entourage, noticeably in the wrong direction
I'm sure
than
it's
what
fine.
you wanted to go.
Nah, I'm sure it's fine.
So you are headed towards the town and castle rather than the other castle.
But is this toward the potentially cloaked thing?
Nope.
Okay. Sad.
Taking you in the opposite direction. Okay, so you're traveling with these guys. Sir Reginald attempts to make some small talk here and there. however you feel to engage with that.
Ash is just bullshit after bullshit after bullshit.
Excellent. And he is quite amused with all of it. So you're keeping Sir Reginald greatly entertained. So after, not that long, because you're not terribly far away from either castle, you reach the gate. Well, actually, there's not a city wall, so you go through the town, weaving through it, and it seems to be pretty, all things considered, pretty clean, pretty well laid out. And you get up to the castle, and Sir Reginald helps you dismount. It's like, if you'll follow me this way to the Great Hall, I shall announce you to the king. I'm sure that he will be most excited to meet you.
That's quite thank you very much. However, just give me one moment to confer with my retinue. I need to make sure that they have their requirements at hand in case the king requests.
Of course.
And then I take Akorum and Velik and Cletus aside and I go, so I'm just going to keep bullshitting until I figure out what's going on here. Does anybody have any recommendations of things I should not bullshit about?
Well, first off, we might want to get our story straight about who we are. I'd imagine I'm your advisor on all things mechanical and
well, they don't have mechanics.
And building.
So
no, but they do have architecture.
This is true.
I'm a builder from your land.
There you go. You are a builder from Farlandia. And Commander Dr. Velik, I think it's pretty simple that you are our medicinal type.
Also with a specialty in botany and herbs.
You're an herbalist.
There we go. That's the word I wanted.
The Commander Dr. Herbalist Velik.
And then Cletus, you're a man-at-arms.
No awesome title for me, sir.
Well, I did
Man
call
at Arms
you
is a
Cletus.
title.
Yeah.
Awesome. He has not lifted his visor at all. It's just faceplate the whole way.
Awesome.
And,
Yeah.
And you have sworn a sacred oath not to lift your visor.
Mm-hmm. It is a tradition in Farlandia that if you lift your visor, it is a great sign of shame.
Okay. No visor lifting. Got it. Wasn't that the plan already anyway?
Yeah,
So
but you
how
had to
did we
give
get
it
into
to...
the-
Someone's
yeah.
going to ask.
Oh, okay. Oh, all right.
How did we get into the forest, into the middle of the forest without being detected?
Oh, we probably didn't. That's why I'm bullshitting in the hopes that the king's going to catch on to us and call us out. So,
Ah, okay.
also bullshitting is fun.
You want the king to call you out?
Well, it would...
Somebody here knows what something's going on.
Exactly. And if anybody is in the know, it's going to be a king.
Or a member of his court who's kind of steering things from the background.
Exactly.
That's what I would think. Usually leaders are usually in the dark. And are only told what people want them to know.
I feel like when we get back to the ship, we're going to have a long conversation about things I should know, but let's table that discussion for another time.
Doctor, you're not supposed to talk about the engineering department that way. The chief tries, but I'm sharper.
I never doubted my mind once that you know everything that happens in engineering.
Of course I do. There are more cameras in engineering than in a prison.
Because
tell
your
the
chief
chief
is a
That is a good point. But I think Chief knows all the angles the cameras are pointed at. More importantly,
Adal knows all of the things the cameras are pointed at.
More importantly, the areas they are not.
Your sixth sense starts pricking.
Yeah. We should probably get a move on.
Yes. Okay, so you are led into the Grand Hall, and it's like any sort of medieval hall. It's a big, long stone room with pillars and big windows. And at the end of the hall, on a raised dais, is a throne with what appears to be a man in a large robe and a crown. And standing next to him is a younger woman. So you are brought in, and Sir Reginald approaches and, Your Majesty, may I present Lady Ash and her associates from Farlandia. The king rises and says, Welcome to my realm, Lady Ash. I am King Iran.
Pleasure to meet you, my king, and I genuflect.
Well met. It seems that you know some of our customs.
Farlandia is not that far away.
Ah. Well, it's been quite some time since we were graced with one of your complexion.
Well, I have many questions for you, my king, but perhaps we could do it in merriment. It has been a long day for us, and if I might be so bold, might we share a meal together?
Of course, we shall have a feast in honor of your arrival. Hopefully, where is Helmut? He is supposed to be here. Anyway, of course, we shall prepare a feast. This is my daughter, Princess Henda. Make sure I have these names so I don't forget them. That would be bad. She curtsies to you. And right about then, you hear kind of it's, if you can imagine like one of those corny 1960s kind of magic effects, like from like I Dream of Jean or something like that. All of a sudden there is a guy in a long robe with a wand standing kind of in the middle of the room. And he rather flamboyantly raises his arms and says, Your Majesty, it is I, Helmut the Great, of the most blessed order of wizards. I am so sorry that I am late. And he waves his wand, and parts of the wall, the stone, start to glow.
But a wizard is never late. They always arrive exactly when they're meant to.
I shall have to save that for later. Who are these? And the king, well, Helmut, this is Lady Ash and her advisors traveling from Farlandia. And Lady Ash, this is my court wizard, Helmut. Helmut walks up to you. A pleasure to meet you, Captain.
I do not know of this word. You speak of captain? No, I am Lady Ash.
Sorry, that's
no, we're going to roll with it.
That's me breaking.
I'm down with it.
Let's roll with it. Spend 2 thread. It's a complication.
Yep, there you go. Okay.
Raise the eyebrow.
You haven't heard of that title. But it is yours, isn't it?
No.
Perhaps I have been misinformed of how things work in Farlandia.
Probably.
We have a captain of the guard.
Yes, have you met Cletus?
Cletus kind of leans and does the little wave. No, I have not had the pleasure of meeting your guardsman yet. You call him Captain.
We call him Cletus.
Ah, I see. This one has a sense of humor.
Why, thank you. I've been working on it for a good bit of time. I look over at, and I always forget Jeremy's character's name.
A quorum.
Acorum. I look over at Acorum and I kind of go, see? Somebody appreciates me.
Somebody thinks it's funny. Yeah. Well, I for one am fully ready to help with this feast that I hear about. Where we shall hear everything that you have to say, my dear Lady Ash.
Wonderful.
And at that point, you actually start to hear someone laughing in the background. And everyone just kind of stops and turns, not at you, but they're looking to the back of the room. And what you see is one of the guards, not one of the ones that brought you in, but one of the guards is laughing uncontrollably, and he actually starts dancing in place.
I'm going to guess
And
that's
that
not normal.
is where we're going to take a break.
That's what I thought.
Gosh, hideous laughter.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Not insidious laughter. It's just laughter. And all of a
It's
sudden,
hideous
dancing.
laughter.
Oh, hideous. Yeah, perhaps that.
Tasha's hideous laughter.
All right, we'll be back in about 5 to 10 minutes, everybody. Stick around. And we're back.
Welcome back, everyone. We are in the middle of some medieval shenanigans. So if you weren't here for part one, the crew has come to a medieval planet in search of some strange energy readings. We're led to a castle by basically a hunting party, for lack of a better term, and then brought to meet the king of the local town. And upon meeting the king, they were then greeted by the appearance of who claimed to be the court wizard, Helmut. And Helmut seems to know a little bit more than everyone else, through Captain Ash a little bit for a loop. But then everyone heard some laughing in the background, and the whole room turned and saw a guard starting to laugh and then dance. And that is where we are. So
I point and turn and go, is that normal, Helmet and Sir King?
the king sighs. It is unfortunately a regular occurrence.
With that one,
it is a plague.
Of laughter?
Oh, yes. Laughing, dancing, they don't stop. If you will follow me, I can actually show you. And you see other guards, like, grabbing the other dancing guard and start to, like, carry him out of the room.
Well, yes, this is the first time I've heard of such a plague.
I'm somewhat surprised that you haven't heard of it. It's been all over the place, from what I can tell.
Well, we must be blessed in Farlandia.
So it would seem. Either that or your surgeons are quite skilled.
Thank you.
You are a surgeon.
A physician, herbalist,
Ah, well then
surgeon.
perhaps you may find this of interest then.
I am already interested.
Princess Henda has interest in the medicinal arts. Perhaps she could aid you in, if you feel so inclined to lend your foreign medicine to our aid.
Look at Lady Ash.
I nod.
With you. Thank you. I'll be more than pleased.
Of course. Well, I shall show you all this, and then the princess will take your surgeon to more closely examine if that is your desire. So the king leads you through the corridors a little bit, and then you open up onto a balcony, and there's another rather large hall, and it's full of dancing people, dancing and laughing people.
How long have they been doing this?
Well, this has been going on for a few months.
Do they eat, sleep?
They do not.
So
They
they've
only
been.
last a few days.
That's where I was going with the next question. So
We can force them, the princess pipes up. We can force them to drink by pouring water down their throats, but that's about as much as we can do.
Has anybody tried putting one of them to sleep?
Do you mean with herbs, or... And the king leans in. Or the percussive sort?
Either?
Yes, and it didn't work.
They still continued.
They remained unconscious for a brief while, but then once they
Huh.
awoke, they resumed dancing.
Can I do have xenobiology and virology?
Mm-hmm.
Like to leverage that in some way to see if I can kind of figure this out, especially looking at the questions. Did they just automatically get it? Did they catch it from somebody?
You're asking the king?
Oh, the king's still with us?
The king and the princess are still
princess.
with you, yeah. The princess is the one who's kind of helping you more directly. So she's kind of helping you, she's guiding you down into the larger area with all of the dancing people. The king is still up with Akora
Okay.
and Ash.
So talking with the princess, is it contagious? Is it transmitted? Have you been able to?
We have not been able to tell any sort of direct transmission of disease. It seems to happen, dare I say, randomly.
I find randomness very hard to believe. There's a common. There's something common. Yeah. If there's anything I can do with virology and xenobiology,
You may have to use your tricorder.
Do you have
afraid of.
do you have sleight of hand or anything close to it? Because you might be able to palm the medical tricorder's detachable scanner.
Don't have anything sleight of hand-ish.
Well, we
How's
can
your con
make it a
score?
daring.
Con scores
Oh, is it a
mid-range.
con score? I will pickpocket the crap out of you.
I mean, it really depends. It's usually con if it's you trying to hide something. It's security if you're trying to steal something from somebody else.
I will not pickpocket the crap out of you.
But you will hide things.
Are they dancing in time with each other?
Not exactly.
So everyone's
I mean,
dancing
some
to
of
their
them
own
might
beat.
be, but they're kind of just
Okay.
dancing. It's not like it's turned into a line dance or anything, no.
Okay.
Sorry,
So
Chad.
no electric slide.
No, as funny as that would be, no.
I say risk it. We already know that there's quote unquote wizards, which are clearly not
Is
wizards.
he here, by the way? Is he here?
He's still up with the king, yeah.
Okay. I have a magic wand of sorts I'm going to take out. Very much akin to what
You're
the wizard
you're
might
a
use.
wizard in addition to being a surgeon.
In Farlandia, the medicinal arts tend to cross into the realm of wizardry.
Perhaps you will be able to show me some of these arts. I'm sure it would help us greatly.
Sadly, the path to earn such knowledge is only kept in Farlandia.
And perhaps I shall have to convince my father to send me there.
Perhaps. Once we set up trade agreements and send ambassadors back and forth, and I pull out the remote thing and come to the nearest person.
All right, there's a dancing lady right next to you. Princess Henda is watching you with like wide-eyed fascination.
Dear herbalist, must you now meditate in quiet and private?
That is true, but I know the princess would like to at least see some of this, and I reach in, pull out some mud I have on there, and I place it on the person's head, put a circle with a little T in the middle of it.
She kind of looks like, oh, what's that?
It's mud from a river in Farlandia.
Does it have medicinal properties?
Maybe.
Ah,
Can't hurt.
so an experimental medicine.
Right now,
I've
that's
tried
all we
many
have.
of those myself.
Mushrooms in the forest?
We have started to find some of those. I haven't found a great use for them yet.
Okay. Be careful when you do.
Oh yes, some have died by trying a few.
Yes. And some of them can take you on a trip much farther than Farlandia.
They teleport you.
After a fashion.
It feels like it.
Huh.
So what do I get off the tricorder?
I don't know. Can you read it though?
As I'm looking in my medicinal bag, pulling out
Open
other
the tricorder inside
ointments
the
and
bag.
herbs, I give a princess, if you can create a paste of these herbs I picked up along the way, and it's some root
poison
fern. Please, poison
Want
oak.
me to use a complication.
Poison oak.
You're
No.
not supposed to give young women a rash.
To put so many content warnings on this. Just
Okay.
Oh,
it's fine. It's fine.
So- So you give
mix
her
all this
the-
into a paste, and we can see this. Each one of these has special properties that might be a benefit.
Oh, all right. And so she takes this stuff like carefully and was walking over to like a mortar and pestle on the side of the room with water and all that. So you are now alone.
All right. What should I roll?
Give me an insight medicine check.
Okay.
Difficulty of 2.
Xenobiology, virology as a focus,
Xenobiology.
and I will use one of our momentum for an extra die, which also allows me to use my cautious
Oh,
medicine.
There you go.
And I have cutting edge. And he says it was difficulty 2?
Yep.
Okay. So cutting edge medicine doesn't come into play. All right. So focus, no determination value, but 3 dice. Oh, and what's the tricorder give me?
I don't think it gives you
I
anything.
forgot. Okay.
I don't
Yeah, it's
think it
only
gives
the
you a
engineering
bonus.
tricorder that gives
All
you
right.
special things.
Oh, you even get a momentum. Fantastic.
We get it back.
All right. You ran the scan and the tricorder is processing it. There doesn't appear to be a virus or bacterium present. What appears to be happening is that there's a state of neurological excitation in the hypothalamus that seems to be getting energy from some sort of field. So there's some sort of energy field that seems to be exciting part of the brain. It's basically what you're seeing.
That's what I was afraid of. Princess, I think our next line of attack is looking at a map and seeing if there's a number of cases closer to a certain point. Figured more cases towards one area, that could possibly be the source.
She just kind of looks at you like, this is a novel idea.
Are there cases spread far and wide, or are there more closer?
It seems to be rather widespread.
And none of the people have anything in common with each other. They go to a
Not that we have noticed, as there have been some in the palace here, and some in the fields, some in various parts of the town, even in the church or traveling. It seems to afflict anyone at any time.
it might not be when they display the symptom, but activities they did prior to that, a day, 2 days before the actual, for lack of a better term, dance fever set in.
Not that we have noticed.
We have heard there's another castle nearby.
Oh yes, the wizard's castle.
Oh, so that is the wizard's Sir Helmet the Great?
Yes, the wizard helmet.
The wizard
It
helmet.
is his castle. Yes.
Interesting.
How
Look over.
long has the wizard been in the kingdom?
The wizards have been here for several years, actually.
Plural? There's more than one?
Oh yes, it's an order of wizards.
Were there any wizards prior to their arrival?
Oh no.
So they brought the magic.
They brought the magic from far, yes?
He might be from. Have you heard of them say where they came from?
Not particularly, no.
Because
So-
Farlandia, this is new to us. We have not experienced wizards in Farlandia.
Oh, well, you said that you had some sort of wizardry yourself.
But
It's
not wizards like these.
correct. It's more from nature.
Oh. Well, then perhaps that's something you could speak to Helmut about. I don't
How
know
long has the
much.
plague been going?
The plague has been afflicting us for several months.
Out of character. How long has that energy signature been here?
Several months.
There
Yep.
you go.
And that's kind of where I've been trying to get around to.
Yes.
Ugh. Yeah, I think
We should have a conversation.
with a wizard.
So
Meanwhile,
you want to talk to Helmut?
You know,
Not that
we
I
could
want
just-
to, but we have to.
so I imagine Captain Ash is over with the king and Helmet, and she's like, "Well, how did you become king then? Because in Farlandia we don't vote for kings."
Well, in this land, we generally do it by a sort of hereditary arrangement, where my father was the king, and then his mother was the queen before that, and it kind of progresses in a eldest child manner.
Ah, ours are usually more chosen. We are brought up, or I shouldn't say we. They are brought up and trained in a great academy.
Ah, you have an academy for monarchs then?
Well, yes, you must know many a things being a king. For instance, do you know the airspeed velocity of a bird?
Why, I do not believe I do.
Well, you must know these things being a king. You may never know when it becomes unuseful.
Interesting. I am sure that may become relevant at some point in my reign. Perhaps when I am trying to determine how long a message will take, whether it would be faster to send by horse.
Exactly. That is exactly what I meant.
Ah. I shall have to remember this. And he snaps over a scribe to write some notes of must learn wind speed of a sparrow.
But you, wizard, Helmet was it?
Yes.
I'm
Helmut.
curious. Your wizardry, from whence does it come? Whence does it come? Does it come in your blood? Is it perhaps a particular rock that you are aware of? How does your wizardry, how does your magic work?
Our wizardry is rather innate.
So you are born with it then?
In a way.
Well, in Farlandia, there are those who attend a different academy who learn a special brand of magic their own. As you may see, my herbalist over there, Sir Velik, is a kind of wizard himself.
Oh, so you do have wizards then?
Well, yes, we just don't have as many captains as you presumed.
Ha ha! Very, very, very interesting, Lady Ash. And at this point, Dr. Velik, I imagine you come back to the raised area where the king and Ash are speaking with the wizard.
We have we examined many of the afflicted. Some of them do have very good timing. and they're able to stay in step, but it is not a voluntary motion. There appears to be something external influencing, trying to find the proper words where it doesn't spill the beans to the princess who is right there.
There's something about their humors that is out of balance.
Yes, exactly. There's an air, an aura in the environment that is causing undue influence upon certain humors. Not that they're humor us, but
This inducement of humors, is this related to when we left Farlandia?
it is some type of, I guess I'm thinking it's some type of distortion. And
It has only been around a few months.
Hmm.
Some months. We left Farlandia not,
Then perhaps it is.
we
related.
first heard
ago.
word.
So and there doesn't seem to be at least they haven't measured a concentration of where people first were exposed. So if we
I'm
were
going to
able-
sidle over to one of the guards
Mm-hmm.
and ask if he can direct me to the nearest privy.
Oh, yeah. Yes, of course. It's over down that hall and to the left.
Much obliged.
Wizard Helmet, have you examined the afflicted?
Oh, yes, I have examined the afflicted, and there doesn't seem to be anything that I can do, not for any lack of trying.
The magics that you possess, do you think a potential unintended, of course, side effect?
Blaming my magic for causing this.
It's something that I am not familiar with.
I can assure you that my magic has nothing to do with this plague.
Did your magic exist prior to your arrival?
What a strange thing to say. Of course my magic existed before my arrival here.
Just
How else would I have arrived here?
Just talking with the princesses that they didn't have wizards prior to your arrival.
They did not have wizards and were not able to access this magical power. But I am able to access this magical power. You are clearly stepping into territory that he doesn't want to say. in front
Oh,
of the
no.
king.
Hmm.
Well, would you like to can I have you show me some of the what you have done to the afflicted?
Indeed, I think we would all like to see a demonstration of your powers, Sir Helmet.
Please let me get to the privy and open up my tricorder.
Okay,
Starts
so
crossing
we'll
his legs.
take a quick
Oh no, I'm
detour.
good with it. Just let me open my tricorder so that I can have it on when this magic show happens.
Oh, okay. So you're able to get to the privy and open up your tricorder in.
So
Indeed.
I'm gonna start trying to scan, but probably about the time I get there and open it up, they're gonna goad this guy into doing something.
Yes. So while you're holding your breath,
Mm-hmm.
the helmet pulls out his wand. Like, there isn't much I can do, but. And
What does his wand look like?
his wand looks like a simple metal rod with what appears to be a light on the end. So like it's
Is it obviously technological to someone who is technological?
Yeah, the flashlight.
Or literally a fake magic wand with an LED on the end of it,
Exactly.
Not the latter, but yes, it is. It is clearly it is clearly a mechanical instrument to you. So not far off from, say, the tricorder's hand scanner, just bigger. So he waves his wand, and there's a flash, and he brings it back down, kind of looks at it, puts it up to his ear for a second. Alas, there's nothing that my powers can do for this plague. And while that happens, Akorum, you get on your tricorder, you get like a massive power spike. But
From what in
it is
particular?
localized from the wand itself.
Huh. I made a note when he like activated things on the walls and made them move.
Mm-hmm.
Can I'd probably have to be close and actively scanning those areas, wouldn't I? Oh, can I detect any any signs that transport occurred recently? We watched him
Yes,
apparate.
you can. Give me an insight engineering difficulty of 1. Oh, no. There you go. Classic. You are able to get it's not identical to yours, but it is a variant of a transporter signature.
And also those areas of the wall that he lit up earlier. He's like the feast.
Yes, you are able to determine that is luminescent aluminum.
Any other building? Is this whole place made out of ultra modern building materials?
No, just certain sections.
Okay.
That appears to be kind of a plate attached to the wall in a way.
The power signature, does that signature match because I was there, I will ping the I will send a message to the doctor's tricorder.
Okay.
I have it on vibrate.
With the signature of the power spike from the wand when the magic occurred.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, could I query his tricorder since we're on the same away team?
Can. Yep.
I want to see if the signatures match.
Okay.
If the energy signatures match. I don't think they do, actually, but I want to find out.
So you're trying to see if the wand and then the signature that seems to be affecting the people's brains match. Okay. I think we need to make you roll for it, but since it's just the system working together. So short answer, they do not match.
Yeah, that was my thought, but I needed to rule it out.
Yeah.
Is that building up cumulatively? Like, do I think that it's cumulative effects of being exposed to the damping field? Or is it something more targeted?
It doesn't appear to be the planetary dampening field, no.
Okay.
There appears to be a third thing.
Do I detect that energy signature anywhere around me?
Other than just being around in the air, no.
Okay, but it is
It's
present.
present, yes.
The thing that is causing the disruption
Yes,
is
it
present.
is present.
Okay. I'm going to shove all that to the doctor's tricorder and then set my tricorder to constantly record and put it away
Okay.
and return to the gathering, straightening my clothes.
Mayor Corman, you look refreshed.
Yes, I spent a bit of time in the privy. It's been such a long journey.
Well, I'm glad that you are refreshed, Sir Acorum, says the king.
My apologies, my liege. I didn't wish to interrupt you with the others, so I approached one of your kind staff members.
Of course, that is one of their many duties, is to help my guests. And at this point, there's...
Oh no, I'll actually say,
Go ahead.
did I miss anything? Something wondrous must have occurred.
Oh, Sir Helmut tried to show us a little bit of his magic.
Oh, it must have been quite potent. It's almost as if I could feel the effects from where I was.
Helmet kind of looks at you.
That's amazing because it did not do much here. Sadly.
It must simply have been the magnificence of I don't know. Maybe I'm more sensitive than I think.
There are some who are more sensitive to our power, perhaps.
How does one join your order of wizards?
Ah, well, there's a rather long application process. You are vetted by other wizards, and then you have to fill out some forms, some NDAs, some...
Parchments?
Yes, some parchments.
Yes,
Many.
Are they pre-filled?
I'm sure they're fillable.
Auto-populated?
You just see his mouth like working a little bit.
Non-disclosure or non-disclosure assignations.
Yes. I actually have something that I need to go do. Your Majesty, if I may take my leave.
Can we make our tricorders? No. Nope.
We have momentum. You could make an advantage.
Yeah,
What are you going for?
I would actually retcon something.
Okay.
I know this would run my tricorder. Actually, no. I probably have an engineering kit as well because I'm an engineer.
Mm-hmm.
I would see if I could build a limited transporter disruptor.
Transport inhibitor?
Yeah, transport inhibitor.
That's good.
Not disruptor, transport inhibitor.
Okay. All right, so you have that. Is it active?
I'm trying to think about how to say that in code. I'm sure the lady would love to have you stay a bit longer. Would you, milady?
Indeed.
Click.
I already took away our momentum for that advantage.
Awesome.
Good. And I will take Wizard Helmet, before you leave, I want to take you to this one patient and take him to one where we drew the symbol on. Have you are you familiar with more nature-based, for lack of a better term, magics, where using herbs and everything to create poultices
My
and
order has used these things in the past, but we generally don't find any need for it in the present.
while he's doing that, I have
I
my
would follow
medical
along.
tricorder determining what species he is.
Okay. Um, so you're looking at it as you've got him distracted.
Looking here, and I got it in my hand. Just
Yeah, so you are able to determine he is not the same species as the Mantuans.
is it one that we've come across before, or is it in Starfleet's?
Mm-mm.
Interesting. So that ruins one of my ideas. Or my, no, it ruins it. Okay, we'll keep that.
But I did
He's
follow
corn.
because I want to keep him in range.
Okay. Well, I appreciate that, and we will take word of your order of wizards back to Farlandia. Maybe we might have people who would be interested in joining your
Joining
order.
my order?
Potentially. You said
Hmm.
long process.
Unless you are here to... Your Majesty, I must return to my castle. The king kind of gives him a nod, and you see Helmut kind of swish his wand and go nowhere.
And do we want to end there on the cliffhanger? Because we are coming up on time.
Oh,
You
wow.
know, yes,
Okay.
we'll end there.
So I said it during break, but I am trying very hard not to do full Monty Python. I'm trying very
I think we all are.
Yes, even I am trying not to.
Oh,
It's
I love
it's
it.
it's the danger you run when you go onto a Ren Fair planet.
Yup. All right. Well, Twitch, stick around because we're going to raid somebody, but YouTube, we'll see you later. Bye, YouTube.